What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cap Show. NFL Week 7. It was terrible for me being an Indianapolis Colts fan. We suck. We suck big cock. It sucks. Matt Ryan's trash. The whole institution's trash. I think they should fire the head coach, release Matt Ryan, and draft a young quarterback. That's what the Colts need to do. I mean, they haven't done it since Andrew Luck, and Andrew Luck was a bust at the end of the day. And then we go after these sucky-ass quarterbacks. I mean, Phillip Rivers, he sucks. Okay, Carson Wentz, he sucks. Matt Ryan, he sucks. It seems like we always want to get these old quarterbacks that were like, hey, they're going to be good. They were good 5 years ago, but hey, hopefully in 2022 they'll pan out great. You know, hopefully Matt Ryan will do some good things. No, dude, Matt Ryan is terrible. He is benched. We know that. And for me, the Colts, it sucks. And I think who I'm most sad about is Jonathan Taylor. I mean, so much talent this young man has, and yet he understands that I'm not going to win a Super Bowl here in Indy. I'm not. We're not even going to make the playoffs this year. Like, straight up. And if we do, we're not going to run deep or anything like that. I just think Jonathan Taylor, he's probably going to end up getting traded or something to a better team. Because if I was Jonathan Taylor and I'm in his shoes and I'm thinking, man, do I want to stay in Indy here? You know, the trash Colts that haven't really done much. Should I? Like, straight up, like, that's the question he has to ask himself. Like, do I see myself winning here in Indy? Because right now, no. You know, in Tennessee Titans, they did what they did. You know, Derrick Henry, 30 carries, 128 yards rushing. And like I said, if we can't stop Derrick Henry, we're not going to win this game. And we didn't. And we saw Matt Ryan throw a pick six early in the game. And when he threw that pick six, I was like, yep, it's over. Like, this game is over. The Indianapolis Colts season is over. I mean, it sucks to say this, though. I mean, I'm just looking at reality in the face and saying, look, the Colts are trash. They're really trash, and they got to start with the quarterback eventually. Because if they're going the way they're going right now, the Colts are going to be a terrible program, dude. Like, that's not who we are. The Indianapolis Colts are champions, you know, with Peyton Manning, with all the greats that was on that team, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, all those guys. Yeah, I just think they paved the way, and now the Colts, they have nothing to show for it. It's sad. It's truly sad. But like I said, the Texans, that was an easy pick. This is probably the easiest pick all weekend. But shout out to the Tennessee Titans getting the dub, not the Texans. And then we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Carolina Panthers. Tampa Bay, they were 11-point favorites. I took them. I even was thinking about going money line, but no. Tampa got blown out 21-3. PJ Tucker, 2 touchdown passes, 177 yards passing. And it was terrible. I mean, Tom Brady, 290 yards passing. And we saw him throw a dime early in the game to Mike Evans. And Mike Evans dropped the touchdown pass. It was just wide open, dude. It was one of them things where it's like, how do you drop that? You know what I'm saying? That could have changed the whole momentum of the game. And then Tom Brady, you know, whatever's going on, I think the Bucs, they need to hit the reset button here. I think they're living back when they won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. It's like, hey, let's pump the brakes here. Okay, like reality setting in Tampa, and they have to understand, hey, we got to get a win here. They're hitting their beef of their schedule, the hardest schedule right now, and it's not looking good for Tampa. It's just not. I thought they would be a lot better than what they are. It just, they're just out of sync right now. You know, we got receivers dropping balls. Tom Brady's frustrated with the offensive line, the play calls, all this. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need to hit the reset button and start over because they're playing on this Thursday night coming up against Baltimore, and that's not going to be an easy game either. So it's definitely a reality check for Tampa Bay and Tom Brady, but a huge win by the Carolina Panthers. I did not see this coming. 21-3. What a win. And then we got the Atlanta Falcons versus the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals, hey, they were favorite in this game, and I went huge on the Bengals here. I just thought Joe Burrow was going to be the difference maker, and boy, he was. Almost 500 yards passing, 481 yards passing, and 3 touchdowns. Joe Burrow, man, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks. I don't think he gets talked about as much as some of these quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. I think Joe Burrow is really legit a top 3 quarterback in the league and really has been since he came into the NFL. I mean, seriously, like, Joe Burrow has that it factor. He can do it all, dude. He can run. He can throw. And the thing is, he doesn't have to run that much. He's more of a pocket passer, which that's why I like Joe Burrow, because he led Cincinnati to the Super Bowl this recent year, obviously lost, started this season, I believe, 0-2, and now they're turning around their season. They're above 500 right now. And Cincinnati Bengals, I promise you, they will make the playoffs this year with Joe Burrow, and it's going to be interesting to see how deep they're going to run in the playoffs again. Who knows? Maybe a Super Bowl. It's a long shot, But I love where Cincinnati's right now. Tyler Boyd on my fantasy squad, which I didn't start this week. I'm pretty upset. 155 yards receiving and a touchdown. I'm going to start him next week, that's for sure. But a huge win by the Bengals. I saw this coming. And then we got the Detroit Lions, which they're trash, versus the Cowboys. We saw Dak Prescott get in here. 207 yards passing and a touchdown. I just thought, Cowboys could have sat him one more week or a couple more weeks until they actually needed him. But, hey, Dak Prescott's looking a lot better. He really is. I just don't want him to re-hurt that hand. I really don't. That thumb, that's a concern for me. But, the Cowboys, man, they're 5-2 right now. And why are they 5-2? It's not because of Dak Prescott or Cooper Rush or their offensive line. No, it's because of their defense. The pressure to put on the quarterback in their secondary. The Cowboys are legit. They're 5-2, and I cannot wait to see how the Cowboys pan out later on in this season into the playoffs. It's going to be interesting, but huge win by the Dallas Cowboys. That was an easy pick as well. I mean, you're playing the Detroit Lions, dude. Jared Goff, 2 picks. I mean, dude, they're just trash right now. They really are. I want to see Detroit Lions do something like the Colts are going to do. Draft a young quarterback. That's what they need to do. You draft a young quarterback and then really work a team around him. That's what you got to do. That's what the Detroit Lions should do. Same thing with the Indianapolis Colts. They need a quarterback. And then we got the Green Bay Packers versus the Washington Commanders. This was my upset pick of the weekend, and I got it right. It's awesome to get it right. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdowns, just 194 yards passing. And really, Green Bay's just out of sync, man. They look terrible. Aaron Rodgers looks like he's 50 and homeless, dude. It's insane right now. It's just sad, really, for Green Bay Packers, man. It really is. It's devastating. Where do I begin? I think where I began is definitely where they released Davante Adams, dude, this offseason. That's where it began. Okay, that's where you guys were like, well, Green Bay's going to be trash this year now, getting rid of Rodgers' go-to guy, and then they drafted quarterback a couple years prior to that. It's crazy what Green Bay's doing. I don't know what's going on, but, huge win by the Washington Commanders. Taylor Heineke, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. And it was all Washington here. They got the win. I picked them because Green Bay is just trash. Their defense is trash. Their special teams. Aaron Rodgers isn't looking that great either. So that's why I went Washington Commanders at home. What a win. And then we got the New York Giants versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars were favorite by 3 points. I picked the Jacksonville, and they had opportunities in this game. They came up a little short. Giants got another big win here, and they're one of the surprising teams out there. The Giants and the Jets, to me, are like, wow, how are they really good this year? It's crazy, but Saquon Barkley, 110 yards rushing. Daniel Jones, 202 yards passing and a touchdown, and it was all Giants here. Trevor Lawrence, 310 yards passing, no touchdowns. I just think, Jacksonville, obviously they started off pretty nice. Then they lost some big games here and there, but I still think Trevor Lawrence is going to be the future in Jacksonville. They just need to add more pieces around Trevor Lawrence because right now they don't have too many pieces. But on the flip side is the Giants are legit, and it starts with their defense and their offensive line and Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's legit, top 3 running back in the league. I don't care what people say. Saquon Barkley has that it factor, and that's the reason why they won this game. Shout out to the Giants getting the big win in Jacksonville. And then we got the Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens. I went Ravens on this pick. They didn't cover the 6.5, but they won if you went money line. Lamar Jackson, 120 yards passing. And then we had, for the Browns, Nick Chubb do what Nick Chubb does. A touchdown, 91 yards rushing. And then Amari Cooper, 3 touchdowns, 74 yards receiving. I just think, the Ravens needed this win, man. If the Ravens did not win, they would have went under 500. Then they would have played Tampa Bay this week. It just wasn't that good. So I think that the Ravens getting this dub close in a battle was huge for the Ravens. I mean, they're 3-4 now. They're going into Tampa. It's going to be an interesting Thursday night football game. But I like the Ravens in this matchup. And Lamar, man, I just think a lot of pressure is on Lamar in Baltimore. It's just like they got to release some pressure off Lamar. And really, the defense has to step up eventually, dude, because that's the weakness in Baltimore is their secondary and their defense. You got to put pressure on the quarterback. You got to defend the receivers in the slots. It's just not good right now in Baltimore. Even though they got the close win against the Cleveland Browns, who aren't really that good, hey, a win is a win in the NFL. It doesn't matter. And then we got the New York Jets versus the Denver Broncos. Denver, at the beginning of the week last week, they were favored by 1 point. And then Russell Wilson did not play, but the Jets got the dub. I picked the Jets in this one. Zach Wilson, 121 yards, 121 yards passing. Shout out to Zach Wilson. And then Breece Hall, 1 touchdown, but he did tear his ACL. He's out for the season. That is huge loss for the New York Jets. And definitely in their running game. Breece Hall was that third back. He was their number one back. He was that guy there, and he's gone now. So that's definitely gonna hurt the New York Jets. But the New York Jets right now are 5-2. Who would have thought this, dude? I never would have saw this coming. I didn't think the Jets would be 5-2 right now. I'm really a good team, dude. Like crazy. But it starts with their quarterback and Zach Wilson. This young man, the young quarterback, he's legit. I really do believe in him. I do think he does need to get better in the pocket more. You know, a lot of these young quarterbacks, they sit in the pocket for 2 or 3 seconds and boom, they're gone. They don't want to look down the 3 or 4th option here. They just take off running. So I think they need to get better that way. But a huge win by the Jets. I went with the under, the 37.5, and I got that right as well. But the Jets, it's just Denver's trash, man. Russell Wilson's done, dude. He lost his mojo. I don't know what happened, but shout out to the New York Jets. And then we got the Houston Texans versus Las Vegas Raiders. I picked the Las Vegas Raiders, and I got that pick right. It was great. Derek Carr, 241 yards passing and a touchdown. But the difference was the run game for the Raiders and Josh Jacobs. 143 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns for Josh Jacobs. He snapped off, dude. He went crazy. Devontae Adams, 8 receptions, 95 yards receiving. And it was all Raiders. All Raiders here. Texans, Davis Mills, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. But it was all Raiders, man. The Raiders just took off on him, and they never looked back, dude. It was a great win. This was a must-win for the Raiders. If they want to make the playoffs, they got to continue to win and win out, really, and just keep winning. So, huge win by the Raiders. The Texans fall to 1-4-1. Crazy, but, you know, shout out to the Las Vegas Raiders. And then we got the Seattle Seahawks versus the LA Chargers. I'm disappointed in this pick. I went Chargers. I should have went the Seattle Seahawks. They were the hotter team. And Geno Smith, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Geno Smith has really surprised me, but really the ground game, Kenneth Walker, the running back they drafted out of Michigan State, he's on my fantasy squad. He gave me like 37 points. He went crazy, dude. 168 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. This guy's legit. And really, I thought Kenneth Walker should have won Heisman last year, dude. Obviously, they gave it to the Alabama quarterback, but, you know, much deserved. But I just think right now, man, dude, Kenneth Walker is legit, dude. I'm telling you, yes, he had a breakout game, and I expect him to have more breakout games as well. But, you know, what a win by the Seattle Seahawks. Justin Herbert, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Austin Eckler, 2 touchdowns. I just think Seattle, man, their defense is nice this year, dude. They are really nice, and their run game's good. So, big win by the Seattle Seahawks. I should have went Chargers. I messed up on this pick. Same thing as I messed up on the San Francisco 49ers beating the Kansas City Chiefs, which did not happen. Kansas City was favored by 2.5, and they covered. It was really a blowout win. Jimmy G, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Kittle, 98 yards receiving and 1 touchdown. And we saw a little McCaffrey in the mix. So I think that's definitely a plus. You got McCaffrey now, Kittle, and Debo on that squad on offense. So for Jimmy G, it's like, dude, you should be putting out big numbers now. Okay, there's no more excuses. You got McCaffrey, Debo, and Kittle, dude. I mean, these guys are crazy good, dude. So these guys are all top of their position. So they should be winning games, obviously, against Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes. 423 yards passing with 3 touchdowns and just 1 pick. Mahomes went crazy, dude. And I'm telling you what, Kansas City versus Buffalo Bills, we could see that in the playoffs 100%. Because Buffalo, that's their biggest threat is Kansas City. And Buffalo Bills, they understand that. They understand that Patrick Mahomes is their biggest threat in Kansas City, dude. I'm telling you right now, what a win. I mean, Travis Kelce had a good game. Juju Smith, 124 yards receiving and a touchdown. But Kelce was a little quiet this game. It was more Juju. But look, Kansas City finds a way to win, and they find a way to put up crazy numbers. And it starts with Patrick Mahomes and the offensive line. Huge win by Kansas City. I should have never went for San Francisco. I just thought maybe with McCaffrey coming in, but, you know, it's going to take some time. Definitely a Super Bowl rematch of 54, but who knows? We might see these teams. Probably not. You never know, though. But a huge win by Kansas City. And then we got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Miami Dolphins. I had Miami at 7. They didn't cover, but they won. They won this game. It was a close one. Kenny Pickett, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. a little slow start for Kenny Pickett. Native of Pittsburgh. He's playing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, went to Pittsburgh. I just think, it's going to take some time. These young quarterbacks coming to the NFL think they're just going to, ball out like they did in college. It's a little bit different than college, dude, let me tell you. So I think, Miami, they took off on him. Tua, 261 yards passing in a touchdown, and it was all Miami. Miami needed this win right now. Now Miami is 4-3 with Tua back in the lineup and healthy, which is huge for the Miami Dolphins and the Miami Dolphins fans. You guys need Tua. Without Tua, you guys are below 500. With Tua, you guys are a playoff team. So big difference. So big win by the Miami Dolphins. And then we got the Chicago Bears versus the New England Patriots. I picked the Patriots at home on Monday Night Football. I thought for sure they'd get the dub. They were 7.5 point favorites, but no, it was all Chicago. Chicago actually blew them out. Justin Fields, 179 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Stevenson, a touchdown, 39 yards rushing for the Patriots. But really, Mac Jones, we saw some Mac Jones. He threw a pick early. Then we saw Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi in the first half and the second quarter really took off. A touchdown pass. Then in the second half, he had 2 picks. One of the picks was definitely unnecessary. Look, he's a young quarterback. Who should the New England Patriots go with? And I even said Bailey Zappi, dude. I'm telling you, there's just more just flow with Bailey Zappi than Mac Jones. Mac Jones is like, yes, he's been surrounded by great coaches his whole life. The best coaches, Nick Saban, the best college football coach, okay? Then now Bill Belichick, the one of the best NFL coaches of all time. Like, I just think Mac Jones has just been around the best systems his whole life, and really he's just a subpar quarterback. So I think eventually the New England Patriots will go Bailey Zappi, which they should, dude. This guy's a gamer. Yes, he comes from a small school, but I don't care. He tossed up 62 touchdowns in college last season, dude. It's crazy, but I'm telling you, Bailey Zappi's got that it factor. Even though they lost this game, there's still some magic in Bailey Zappi that I've seen where it's like, dude, the New England Patriots need that. They need to throw the ball down the field because I don't see it with Mac Jones. I really don't. So I think they should go Bailey Zappi in the future. No doubt about it. But I think the easiest picks all weekend in Week 7 was definitely the Jets over Denver. That was easy for me. The Raiders over the Texans. That was easy as well. And then obviously my upset pick, Washington over Green Bay. It was really a good week for me in my picks. Definitely ran up. I just think going back to the Indianapolis Colts, it's going to be a long season. Now we're benching Matt Ryan, which we thought he was going to be our savior. Dude, it's silly, man. The Colts, they need a 360 turnaround, man. I pray for the Indianapolis Colts. Go Colts, but what a week for NFL, baby. It's the Clown with Cow show. Let's